Hey, good morning. Sorry about that. Good to be with you today. Today's Thursday, and it is Thursday, January 20th, actually. And we are getting close to the end of the month. What a start to the year we've had. We've had just a blessing of a beginning of a year here at Calvary Baptist Church. And it's been a blessing to be able to look into the Word of God. And I've just been thinking this morning about our theme for the year and at the church here being always abounding. And just been thinking about that in my life and how we are to be always abounding and not becoming complacent in our Christianity, but abounding in the work of the Lord. And so just been thinking about that this morning, and I hope that that's your desire to just be always abounding. Always moving on, always looking forward to what God is going to do. We're going to be in Psalm 55 today, and I don't know if we'll get through the whole psalm. We'll see how it goes here, but we're in Psalm 55. We had a great time at services last night. Good group of young people, good group of adults in prayer meeting as well. So it was just great. Just great to see God's people in God's house. Psalm 55, and we began this yesterday. We're going to begin at verse number 8. And as we have seen, David here is pleading to the Lord. He's crying out in prayer to the Lord. And there have been individuals that have treated him horribly. And so he's calling on God here to intercede on his behalf. We're going to find that even today, as we continue reading, that it was an individual that is close to David has kind of turned his back on David and has betrayed him almost as well. And so we'll see that today, and we'll see what we can learn from that, and how we respond to moments of betrayal, and how we respond to those who turn their back on us. And so let's look at verse number 8. Verse number 8 says, I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. And so just quick thought here. Let God fight your battles for you. Too many times we stick our foot in our mouth and we try to fight our own battles, and we only make matters worse. The scriptures tell us that vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. And I kind of like what David has said here. He says, I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. What can David do that's going to make his situation better? He's saying, and then he says, destroy, O Lord. He says, God, you need to do it. God, I can't. You need to do it. He says, and divide their tongues, for I've seen violence and strife in the city. Now, let's continue. Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from the streets. Now get this in verse number 12. So we kind of see this difficulty that David's going through. Then verse number 12. For it was not an enemy that reproached me. Then I could have borne it. And David says, you know what? If it was somebody that didn't like me, somebody that was my enemy, if they were the one attacking me, hey, I could have handled that. And honestly, I think for each one of us, we can handle those things, because it doesn't hurt much if it's somebody who doesn't like us. If they're the ones that are hurting us, it doesn't hurt much. He says, neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me. Then I would have hid myself from him. So I mean, that's natural. Individuals that dislike us or hate us, they're the ones that are hurting us. That is almost expected, and so we can just avoid those confrontations when they come about. Verse number 13, but it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide and mine acquaintance. David says it's a friend of his that has hurt him. We took sweet counsel together and walked unto the house of God in company. And so they worship the Lord together. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. And then David says, as for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. And so here's what we've got here. David is hurt by somebody close to him, by a friend, and somebody that they went to the house of God together. And he's asking the Lord, he says, God, you deal with them how you see fit. And David says, what I'm going to do is I am going to call upon you, Lord, and Lord, you're going to save me. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. We find verse number 18, he hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. And so just a final thought about these statements here. When we are hurt by even those that are close to us, let's spend time with the Lord. Let's seek the Lord's face and allow God to move on our behalf. Verse 18, he says, he hath delivered my soul in peace. God can bring peace even in the midst of interpersonal struggles or discrepancies. God is the one that brings the peace there. And so we must trust him during those interpersonal conflicts. And David says, you know what? Those outside of my personal friendships, those don't hurt me when they come against me. But when my friends, when my close friends, when they come against me, that's when it hurts. And David's response is to come to the Lord, allow God to work on his behalf. And you know what? God is the one that brings the peace in the midst of even difficult circumstances with close friends and with people that we love. And then David says, you know what? There are many with me. He says, you know what? This is one individual who's hurt me, but I've got others around me that still love me. And so take refuge in the Lord during those times, and then realize that God has placed other people in your life to be an encouragement and a blessing during those times of heartache. And so I want to leave you with those thoughts for the day. We'll finish out this psalm tomorrow. And when you're hurt by individuals close to you, don't despair, but rather go to the Lord in prayer. So I'll leave you with that thought today. Hope you have a great day today. If you're in northern Michigan, the temperature today is nearly doubled from yesterday. I think we're looking at mid-30s today, and so it'll be a little warmer even today. But have a great day today. Be a testimony of God's love to those that you're in contact with, and let's trust the Lord in all things. Have a great day.